I ain't got no hurricane safety tips now. Well, Skelec got, and together we can weather the storm. So, check this. Prepare for power outages. Charge devices before a storm strikes. Develop a plan in the event that electricity goes. Learn where and how to shut off your home's electricity. Ensure that there are no trees in the lines near you. If you are experiencing low voltage, turn off the main switch in your home. Do not touch wet appliances. Be sure to stay tuned to Skelec's Facebook page and website for updates about the outages and restoration. For emergencies, our contact numbers are 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. I repeat, 465-2013, 661-2013, and 600. Remember, with Skelec's hurricane safety tips, together we can weather the storm.
Don't throw those bottles away. Turn them into money today. Vitam bottles equal cash in your pocket. It's super easy. Just take those empty Vitam bottles to any Cara Brewery distribution truck or any drinks depot in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're keeping our beautiful Twin Island paradise clean. Vitam bottles equal cash back. Keep it clean, keep it green. Vitam bottle returns. Your bottles, your cash, your island.
Back to school is here at Harper's. Yes, Harper's is where it's at with the widest selection of school and art supplies for all schoolgoers, from the tiniest preschooler to the big cool college students. Plus, everyone can enjoy a 10% discount and a chance to spin the wheel and enter our grand draw in September. And the bonus is, our friendly team is looking forward to welcoming you again and again and again. For more information, call us at 466-6500.
Yeah, we got that.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And a pleasant good day to you and yours. Welcome to Island Tea. And as you know, whenever you hear my voice, first off, you know that I'm all by my lonesome. Hopefully, Cortensia will be in tomorrow, but she's unable to be in today. As you know how it is, sometimes we wear many different hats, and so at different times we are asked to put on a particular hat at a particular time. Well, let's get into the gist of things. What is happening in and around the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis? Well, all I've been hearing so far is land, Nevis, St. Kitts, sustainable development, and so on and so forth. I guess we'll delve into that somewhat. Last evening I was fortunate to hear a bit of a discussion on, I think it was Vaughan Radio, in relation to the aforementioned topic. So let me see here if I can find a bit of a clip and play that while I get me that list that I have, that paper that has on the numbers that you can call. The clip I'm going to play has no bearing on anything to do with the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, but it has to do with humanity on a whole. So Here goes. Let me see if I can play that right about now.
We are an intelligent species because we defined ourselves that way. We don't have the benefit of another species to compare ourselves with, against whom we might fail miserably. So when we compare ourselves to chimps, we sit up righteously and say, we have poetry and the Hubble telescope and philosophy, and the chimp just stacks boxes to reach a banana. Yet there's only 1% difference in our DNA. The smartest chimp does what our toddlers can do. Simplest human thoughts are inconceivable to a chimp. Imagine some other species that's 1% along on that same scale, smarter than us. What would we look like to them? They would roll Stephen Hawking forward and they'd say, this one is slightly smarter than the rest because he can do astrophysics calculations in his head like little Timmy over here, who just came home from preschool. Their simplest thoughts would transcend our deepest thoughts.
Yeah. What if some other species was in a superior intellectual position to us and was then able to determine what was right, what was wrong, who was primitive, who was civilized, and so on and so forth? Yeah, I just want you to broaden your thinking perspectives and not just be narrowed into the everyday, tending to be mundane issues of our lives. Well, I see my phone lighting up, so let me get to that. Hello, good day.
Good morning, Quinn.
Good day to you, Greg.
Yes, and greetings to you once more again in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, I would like to say something. I think our Prime Minister and politicians, I think they should speak out to the Nigerian government against the killing of Christians in northern Nigeria by the Muslim Fulani people. You know, since we seem to be developing a good relation with Nigeria, we should speak out against the killing of Christians by Muslims in the northern Nigeria. And the government apparently is seemingly hardly doing anything about it. There's, you know, hardly anything they seem to be doing about it. No. I remember when Team Unity was in office, there was this Christian woman in Afghanistan, and she was being persecuted and oppressed by the Muslims, and by extension her family, including her husband. And one time, the PM, Dr. Timothy Harris, was on radio. And I said to him, there is this Christian woman who is being persecuted, and she's asking for help from foreign countries, for refugees. And we could let her know that she could come here as a refugee from her persecution. He said I should register it at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I did it. Sometime after, I asked somebody who worked in there, the person who I registered with, I asked the same person, has anything been done about it? He said no. Said here and aware of anything being done about it. Not too long after, Team Unity, I believe Jesus Christ sent the bitter division and confusion in Team Unity camp as a result of turning a blind eye and a deaf ear to her pleas, to let her know, okay, you can come here. We will offer you refugee and asylum. And like I said, not too long after that, I started to hear all kind of bitter division and confusion in Team Unity camp. I believe that was sent by Jesus Christ. And then devoted out of office. Jesus in control of everything. A lot of people love to say, give our kind of explanation as to for the bitterness and the confusion. But I believe that was the straw that brought the camel back, and Jesus sent the confusion and division in the camp. I remember some time ago as well, during Dr. Denzel Douglas' time, I request of him to register your complaint to the Cuban government, since you're developing a good relationship with the Cuban government, to register a complaint about their persecuting Christians and jailing Christians and that sort of stuff. Well, I do not know if he did it, but I can see he complaining such to them, and at the same time they're developing this good, friendly, close relationship. And I think if he didn't do it, I believe Jesus Christ sent confusion in his camp as well, with Timothy Harris leaving and others leaving and all kind of confusion in his camp when they were voted out. Don't play with Jesus Christ. You turn a blind eye to the plight of his people, he will bring curses and judgment on you. And lastly, I would like to say, Quint, I do not believe Abraham Tory will agree with any party or person, be it the PAM party or any other party or any other person, taking away local land and giving it to foreigners, no matter the economic result. No matter how good it is, no matter how wonderful the economic result will be, I don't believe Abraham Tory would agree in taking away local land to give to foreigners, be it the PAM party or any other party. And this go back to what I was saying yesterday. But above all else, eminent domain applied to people who properly acquired and rightly acquired the land and take it away in the name of eminent domain. That goes against the Bible, and therefore it is automatically wrong and to be biblically repented of, and this is what brings judgment on people, just like it did to Abraham and Jezebel in the Old Testament, with the wickedness that they did Ahab in doing what we call today eminent domain. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. God bless.
Okay, and the time is 22 minutes moving away from the 8 o'clock hour. Something I was thinking about, but I lost my train of thought. And yes, I was thinking that whether or not, as far as I'm concerned, from my perspective, whether or not eminent domain is right or wrong, it just shows you how we continue to carry on things that have been set in place by the colonialists before, because our colonial masters always had laws implemented so that whatever you garnered by whatever means, they will find some legal recourse or course, if they wish to take it away from you. Now, that does not mean that we, our leaders, and we, the people who are inhabiting these areas presently, have to follow the same examples precisely the same way. We can, when it is beneficial and when it offers the potential for advancement that you can see will be sustainable for the people of your country, well, I think that you can implement it. But I again say only when you see that it will be sustainable and you can convince the people for whom you are doing such an endeavor that, look at this. This is what we intend to do, and I want you to analyze it for yourself. Do you agree with us that this will be a sustainable thing for all of us moving into the future? And then you can implement it. Hello, good day. Hello.
Greetings.
Yes.
Greetings.
Good day.
Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, I'm trying to reach WinFM. Do I have the right number?
Yes, you're on WinFM.
Okay, thank you very much. The talk program still goes on in the morning. I'm not listening to the radio right now. Sir?
Hello?
I was asking if the talk program still goes on in the morning.
Yes, but you said you're not listening to the radio. So,
No, but that is why I'm asking.
but you want to make an input.
Before I do so, I would like to know if it's on and what's your topic.
I don't really. You can bring up whatever topic you wish to bring
Great,
to the
great.
fore.
May I, the name is X. May I ask why I'm speaking to? The voice don't sound familiar to me.
You can just call me Quinn.
Quinn. Okay. Now I know who I'm speaking to. Okay. Where we are in the month of September. Today's the 3rd, isn't it?
Are you going to be asking me a lot of questions, or do you?
No, man.
Do you want? Do you want to?
I want to reason on the month. I just want to make sure that my head is working right.
Well, I would think I would think your head is working right, but I would want you to get into the gist of what you want to bring forward.
I'm bringing it, man. I'm coming to it.
Yes.
Okay. We are new in September. Okay, the first thing I want to do is big up all September babies, you know? Yeah. Just said Earth Month, birth month. Okay. It's also the month that we celebrate independence. I think it's a Nevis celebrate independence. And I really think that we need to, up to the time, we need to postpone any celebration we'll be having for independence. The reason why, the islands, both St. Kitts and Nevis, are in dire need of cleaning up, and staying that way. Because as we always say, the nastiness is more than the cleaning. So it makes it look like we're not even trying, like we're not even cleaning. So there must be a maintenance in the cleanliness.
Can I
just clean?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please do.
The proximity of where you live, how it was before and how it is and how it seems to be trending. Do you see that as a good sight? Do you see, or do you feel that some of the things that are accruing in that area should be moved to really push forward cleanliness?
Some of the things in my area.
Yeah,
right where people catches bus, there's an empty lot.
Yes.
Yeah, and in the night, just like down at the waterfront where the supermarket and the hotel is, in the night, the rats are out. And I mean plenty rats.
But I'm not speaking.
So
I'm not.
Like a feeding ground.
I'm not speaking to the rats. I'm speaking to things that you. I would assume it is you who have put those things there, and they are piling up. And to me, I could be wrong. I have the utmost respect for you, but I feel that we must practice what we preach. And to me,
So you're saying, yes, continue.
To me, it seems as if though what is accruing there is becoming a bit unsightly. That's to me.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So you are saying to me.
Yes.
You are saying to me that items which I personally have in front of my gate is unsightly, but the garbage that is accumulating in the empty lot is not unsightly.
No, I didn't say that. But here's what I'm saying. I'm saying the garbage accumulating is unsightly, and I agree with you that we need to practice cleanliness. But I also say that the area in front of your place, you've got to be you must be very careful that it does not become something that is really unsightly also.
Well, can I say something concerning what is by my place? I'm in the midst of working process.
Yes.
So therefore, whatever you, and not only that, I practice assisting street people who don't live nowhere. I bathe them, I change them, occasionally feed them. They are not so much in need of food, but a bath and a change of clothes, you know?
Yes.
So, I keep items that I used for those people there by my place on the outside. And as I said before, I'm in the process of work. So most of the items, and I also sell coals. Do you know what is coals?
Yes, I'm very much aware of what is
I
called.
also sell coals, and that is all there. So you are saying that I am not practicing what I am preaching.
Well,
I heard you said that.
I'm saying, yes, I'm saying it does not seem that you're practicing what you're preaching.
Well, it seems.
Yes.
There's a way that seemeth right unto man by the end thereof his death. So you see
I use the word seem because you just said that you are a work in progress. I would assume that a work in progress means that over time you may be moving some of those things from that proximity.
But of course.
Yes.
But of
So
course.
that is why I use the word seem, because it could look that way now, but in the near future it is cleaned up. That is why I use the word seem.
Yes.
Yes.
And to concerning what you said about practicing.
Yes.
I came up I was born in Newtown. Came up in the McKnight area. Early, my folks moved down there, and because of especially my mom, whom I spent most of my time with, occasionally by my father, who is also very clean. I picked up cleanliness, having the importance of a clean environment from both my mother and my father. And I keep it that way, even in my old age.
Yes.
So, the seams is not that way at all.
Okay. Good to hear that. Because like I said, I respect you. I remember as a young boy,
It's mutual.
You remember when you were in the vicinity of Baker's Corner?
Yes. Before I went to Jamaica, of course.
Did you have a bookstore in that area at one point?
Yes.
Yes.
Bookstore, craft shop.
Yes.
Selling, no, I didn't used to sell that. I used to give it away. I just used to feed people. And bookstore, craft shop.
And I remember that only in that bookstore could I get certain books that I could read things about Africa. African names, African culture. I remember there was a 3-book encyclopedia pertaining to black history and black movies and that kind of stuff. So yes, I respect you because of what I know from then to now. So that is why, because I respect you and I feel that you are a mature enough individual so we can have a mature conversation. That is why I said to you what I said.
Yes, and thank you for doing so, and it allowed me, because remember, you're not just speaking for yourself alone. You're speaking to others. It seems that way also. So you're echoing what people, for other people. You understand?
Yes.
Good. So I'm glad that you brought that up so that I can express the reality of things.
Yes.
You know? But so going back to the rats, you know, having rats in our environment is never a good thing, and people practice feeding rats because of non-separation of garbage. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Right, and it's terrible in Bast here with the rats. They comes out at night. They comes out late at night. They stays up till 4, 5 in the morning.
Yes.
Still circulating and going around. And it is really not good for our health. And I see these rats going in and out of food outlets also.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
not all food outlets, mind you, but I see it happening in some food outlets, and that is not good at all. You know, so we have to be concerned of these things, and that is why I made the point about postponement
Yes.
of all activities for independence. What it is, 42.
I'm not too sure because I'm not too fan. I'm not too big a fan of this independence thing because I feel independence should be a complete thing and not just a word that you push about, but you don't feel it as you live on a daily basis.
Exactly, I agree with you.
Yes.
But it's a reality. We say we are independent and we celebrate whenever that date comes around. So, you know, I'm not a fan of it also because, as you said, it's not balanced. You know, we are not economically independent, and etc. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm there with you, but nevertheless, we participate in it. We keep it up. So you know, and it's a big thing in the federation between St. Kitts and Nevis. So I don't think I can labor the point enough. We need to just postpone those things and clean up our communities in both islands.
Okay.
I'm not too down on Nevis. You know, I see Nevis in a better state than St. Kitts when it comes to that. You know,
Yes, it seems to be that way.
I would like to see Nevis up too.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Thank you very much for the time.
Yes, you're most welcome.
Blessed love.
Yes. So I'm going to take a bit of a commercial break, and I'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Buster! We run things are on we. Buster! Living color, do it differently. Buster! Large and in charge, like for the party. Buster! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste. Buster! Bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Buster! Live in full color.
Buster!
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA specials.
Running August 21st to September 3rd.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Essential Everyday Mayonnaise, just $17.99. Essential Everyday Trash Bags, $11.89. Mueller's Pasta, $5.99. Sunny Delight Smooth and Tangy, $7.99. Orville Redenbacher Microwave Popcorn, just $9.99. Essential Everyday Vinegar, $14.99. And now, our very low weekly
value deals. IGA and Essential Everyday Cereals, $9.99. Essential Everyday Oats, Quick and Old Fashioned, $10.99. Chobani Greek Yogurt, $5.69. Pillsbury Cake Mix, $6.99. Swab deodorant, $8.99. The Colgate Toothpaste, $7.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Back to school is here at Harper's. Yes, Harper's, it's where it's at with the widest selection of school and art supplies for all schoolgoers, from the tiniest preschooler to the big cool college students. Plus, everyone can enjoy a 10% discount and a chance to spin the wheel and enter our grand draw in September. And the bonus is, our friendly team is looking forward to welcoming you again and again and again. For more information, call us at 466-6500.
Yeah, we got that.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And welcome back to Island Tea. And I'm going to give you now the numbers that you can call to bring whatever topic, whatever issue it is you feel you need to ventilate. You can bring it to the fore. And the numbers are 466-0989, 762-0989, 762-0989. In the UK, 033-344-0065. In the US of A, 718-285-6984. And in Canada, 305-921-4619. Those are the numbers you can call so that you can bring up whatever topic, whatever issue it is that you feel you want to ventilate. And as the prior caller said, we are in that time when people are speaking about the celebration of independence. Sometimes I wonder if it is independence as in relation to being independent, or if it is not independence or independence or independence, if you were to break it down for what they say into phonics. Independence. Are we dancing and celebrating, but we are in an enclosed in proximity? We are in a pen celebrating, but there's much going on outside of that pen, and we are not privy to such because we are in this state of perhaps a false euphoria while we are dancing in the pen. Good day.
Morning, Queen.
Good day, good morning. And how are you?
I'm good. You turned back on your overseas number because I was calling it earlier and you saying it was out of service.
Well, that has nothing to do with me. Maybe it's to do with the telecommunication company. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm calling you. Keep telling me it's out of service. Did you see Burkina Faso pass a law that if you gay or anything, you get 5 years in prison?
No, I was not. This is news to me.
Yeah, they passed a law that will actually penalize you if you I guess display that in public.
Yes. And I'm glad you said in public, because that's the key thing there. Yeah.
And it's amazing they did that, and now here in California, if you're these days where your child can get up and say, I'm a boy, I'm a girl. In California, if the parents do not acknowledge, they just pass law that if the parents actually do not accept that, the government or the states can just come in and take the child from you.
Yeah.
Tell me the world is not going mad.
Imagine that. A parent's job is supposed to be to look after the child, nurture the child, have a certain level of control of that child until the child reaches the point where it can make its own decision, and they have it in law that is up to the age of 18, but yet still they make all these things lax so that children can just, and these children regret it, because I've been reading articles of a lot of children, who went and made this claim to the authorities. The authorities took them, put them in, and now those children are crying and screaming and wishing they had their parents, because the treatment they're getting is nothing near to what they got when they were home.
That's necessary. This is the devil's work, because you have to be 21 to drink. You have to be a certain age to vote. But yet at 5, 6, and 8, and 10, you can come tell me, I'm a boy when you're born a girl, and the government has said that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not Satan at work.
You see, I'll make this statement. You see this divide and conquer? We, the black people, when we say the colonialists use the divide and conquer against us, Caucasians tend to stay on the side and say, oh, look how they're lamenting and blah. But that very same divide and conquer is eventually used against them. And then
that is true.
They are bitter.
But if you realize too, what I've noticed, because I went into a post the other day with this lady, a star. I guess she went to Africa wherever she adopted a black child, and this child I think the child look about 5 or 6. It don't look 10, and it's a little boy.
Yes.
And what do you think she have on the little boy? A pink dress.
Mm-hmm.
They inducting our children into a lot of garbage.
Yes, yes. And these are things we have to look at, where if someone is going to adopt a child, you should do some bit of a research. It is true you can't tell them how to raise that child, but you should have an idea of what they would want to do with that child, because how are you going to take a boy out of out of Africa and then you bring him home and to your home, and because you say you're going to feed him and put some clothes on him, you just change his mode of life and change his gender?
We're living in a crazy world, Queen.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll continue to listen.
Okay, you take care, and thanks for your input. Yeah, that is what democracy is for you. Not too long ago, in Britain and all around the world, these things were illegal. But then all of a sudden, when they feel it convenient, they just change the laws, and then we just follow. We who are supposed to be independents, but are dancing in the pen, we just follow them, you know. So, like I said before, a lot of Caucasians are now realizing that the divide and conquer is being used against them, because there's an old saying, what you do to one, you will eventually do to others. And so while they were laughing on the sideline and watching the things that we were going through, now they are being enslaved, because the majority of Caucasians in those developed countries, look how they're living. Have a chat with them, and they will tell you how uncomfortable they are with the fact that they had to work all their lives, and they will reach retirement. They're tucked into a little 2x4 apartment, and everything is taxed from them, and the services they depend on gets depleted. The government decreases that every year, and so when some of them are able to travel and they come to the Caribbean and other parts of the world, and they see how we are living, they yearn for that lifestyle and they want it, and they come to our leaders and they make bids to our leaders, and our leaders acquiesce to them and compromise themselves and us in the process. Let me take a bit of a commercial break, and I'll be right back.
Found the sound, 98.9 FM. Kids and neighbors, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher, pay your bill in full, sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
From the time that you taste it, man, you know that it's greatness. Some ice in your cup, tell your friends link up. You know that we liming. Signal the bartender. No, we don't need chaser, but if you want, it could mix with anything. We drinking Stones ginger wine, the original ginger wine. We drinking like I say, Stones ginger wine. Greatness is forever.
Back to school is here at Harper's. Yes, Harper's it's where it's at with the widest selection of school and art supplies for all schoolgoers, from the tiniest preschooler to the big cool college students. Plus, everyone can enjoy a 10% discount and a chance to spin the wheel and enter our grand draw in September. And the bonus is, our friendly team is looking forward to welcoming you again and again and again. For more information, call us at 466-6500.
Yeah, we got that.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
We are back. Hello, caller.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm all right. I just thought to tune in and Myra here, so I just said let me call in and say something.
Go ahead.
Now, I didn't hear from the beginning, but it's just the end part there that you had before the break. But number one, right? Me personally, I can't speak for other people, but me personally, our children, our black children, should never ever be adopted out to any Caucasian. I say what I say, and I make no apology, because I know there are going to be apologists out there who is going to say, well, what's she saying? Well, or if they're in a position to care for them, they have the money. No, sometimes we just look at money. Money is not all. What else do we really expect to happen to these black children? How do we expect them to raise them? Now, you see the Bible? I always say the Bible is either was handed by the Almighty that has become corrupted by them, by those who should have no dealings, translating as the case may be, or this is the handbook of Satan and his own for their plans for the people who rightfully belong to this earth, the plans they have for them. It's either or. It's either or. And in that book, it clearly states, now, you see this little island? I don't know if you are aware, but I'm sure people will be shocked if they get to really understand some of the activities that happen on this island, these sinful, diabolical activities. You see the rise in sodomy. Where you think that came from? It's imported. It was brought in. They have all of these things here happening, you know. They have their clubs and all of them, they're meeting in secret places and so on, and thing and whatever they go to talk about the joint, the pool party and all that kind of thing. If you know what happens in these areas. A lot of these things is imported. I mean, what do they really expect?
I remember some years ago, a person of a certain social standing was showing me a picture of a group of men who are part of some club or whatever, and they went on a hike, and I could see between two mountains right here in St. Kitts, between two big, hills or whatever you wanted. There was a valley and then two peaks, and I could see men from one peak going down into the valley, going up, a string of men, and all of them were dressed in dresses. And I asked him, I said, why is it that a bunch of men here, this is in St. Kitts? And I said, well, why are a bunch of men dressed in dresses? And he said, well, it's part of, the experience. And I said, nothing else, but you're right. These things are happening right here.
Yeah, because you see, they push tourism, anything. Listen, we don't have any standards in this place. We don't have any. We don't have any standards in this place. Anything goes in the name of a dollar. It can't be like that. And then when you look, the citizens are the ones who are oppressed. It can't be like that. And then all of these things coming in. And all of these negative, diabolical forces and energies coming in and just creating a mess for the people here. Look at how many of our young boys are inside in this thing. You anybody think that this is just happening by chance? It's calculated.
Yeah.
It is calculated and it is strategic. Because if you can get the men in these kind of positions, you have conquered.
Yeah.
You have conquered.
It's going to retard your generations in the future. It's going to decrease your population. Yeah.
Outside of them not wanting to have children, but I mean they are emasculated and they are effeminized.
Yeah.
How do you get warriors out of effeminized, emasculated males?
Well, I'm glad that you are a woman asking that question, because I think as a woman, it is relevant for you to ask such a question, because you are the other half of the gender.
Yeah. How? It's calculated. I have something that I could say, but I don't want it. I don't want to take up too much time. I don't know if I will be available, because after this you're going to the next program, right?
This program, it depends on if we have guests.
Today is Wednesday. I was thinking in terms of voices.
Yes, voices. I'm going to be hosting voices today, and it's going to be 2 hours. So if there's something you want to bring up, then you can also call in. Then.
Yeah. I'm going to say. I'm not going to say it now because it might take a little time.
Yes.
So I will put myself in a position.
But it isn't going to be anything that is going to be defamatory or anything like that, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
I just want to be sure.
No.
Okay.
No. And let me tell you something. If I'm saying it, I know it's going publicly, right?
Yes.
It doesn't really sound good. Maybe this is something that should really be said among us, but I really don't know. I really don't know. But what I'm saying, our black children going into their hands, those in Africa, maybe they think they are doing the children a favor because they have money and they're coming.
Let me show you a good example. I like that point you made. People tend to say, oh, your African ancestors sold us into slavery. Let's look at this scenario now. A lot of parents in Africa are struggling, barely can feed their children, and here comes this white person. You look affluent, they show you a couple pictures. The parent think, okay, my child is going to be well off for the rest of his life. But then look at what they do to your children. Years later, people say, oh, you sold your child, but you didn't think this would happen. You thought your child was be going into a better life. And it is the same thing to some extent that happened in Africa. When they sold, they said, okay, you are not of our tribe, so we sell you into captivity. But they didn't think that you were going to be castrated, you were to be hung, you were going to be whipped and burnt in fires and all. Do you think they envisioned that? No.
No, they never saw it that way, because what they call slavery in Africa is not what we refer to, what we now know as chattel slavery.
Yes, yeah.
Because it wasn't slavery in a sense, It's just that they were taken away from the tribe and then they were used to do service for which other tribe and so on. And it is said that a lot of these who were held captive, they were treated very well, and some of them came into inheritance.
Yeah, and even married into the family. It is. There are stories.
Yes, so,
there are stories of those in the Bible, even.
Yeah, because if this is how I know it is for me, I would think that somebody else would come along and want that person also. I'm going to think that the way I am treating that person, that's how that person will be treated by the other person.
Yes.
Because if I am a thief, I'm going to think that everybody else is a thief.
Yeah.
If I am fair and honest, I'm going to think, because this is how I'm going to see everybody else.
Yeah.
So I think this is what happened in Africa. They think that when they go to these people who look different, they would be treated just as good and even better. That is if.
Yeah.
But to tell you the truth, I don't really speak like others speak and say that, oh, we were sold Africans into slavery. I don't go with that. Because one thing I have realized, anytime you see it has black achievements, even if a Caucasian is not involved, they find every which way to tie themselves into it.
Yes, that is true.
They find themselves to, and anything that is diabolical, they don't want to be held accountable for it. They don't want to do anything to bring what they call redress, as the case may be. So I have also found out that they always find some lie to put inside it to wrap in black people and hold them culpable or complicit, if there is another word that we can use that describe it in a real worse way.
Yeah.
They always do that. So I am not surprised when you hear them say, well, oh, black people sold their own people. Who say that it is true? Who says it's true? Because these tribes, you know of these tribes who fought valiantly. They were captured in one way or the other. But I don't really believe that there was nothing like they took them and they sold them like that. If they did give them, I don't think they really
if for
thought
instance,
that they would be subjected to this sort of treatment.
If, for instance, I'm going to take a commercial break anytime now, but if, for instance, you look at our history, you will see many, many stories of African kings and queens who fought the Europeans against bringing slavery into their territory. But conveniently, history doesn't bring up those. We would have to go and research them and find them ourselves.
Exactly. Look again with our history, right? And I mean, we are of an age today where we should know differently. And I guess maybe it's the injustice that is done to our people by some of these, what they call tourist guides, right? They take them around and they present the information from a Eurocentric position, point of view. I don't know what we are afraid of. I really don't know what we are afraid of. And when I say we, I said, not me personally, but I don't know what we are afraid of as a people. And so that is why you see, I believe our people don't really they don't understand the value of what we have. Okay, there might have been enslavement, but when they look around and they see all of these mills and these stoneworks and all of those sort of things, we need to teach our children in school and we need to let them understand, hey, look, who built this? Who built this? And I often hear a caller, but this has been in the past, quite a while, a long time, but I have heard a caller said many times, and it caused me to think. He said the Africans were not brought over here as no slaves, per se, He said they were brought over here because of their intelligence and their creativity. And the first time I heard that caller said that, it caused me to stop and think. And I said, my God, yes. I never thought of it, and it was true. Because now when you have to go back to history, you see all of these stoneworks and designs and all of that. They call Victorian this and Georgian that. It's black people.
Yeah, who built?
We need to tell our children, listen, our forebears built that.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
caller.
They won't have to go. When these people here come in, say they're putting down hotels and all of that, and they send our local people to go and remove these stones from these stoneworks, they know better than to go and destroy what we have.
Okay,
because
caller, I want to take a bit of a commercial break, and so that.
Yes, if there's anything, I will just call back.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So
thanks for your indulgence.
Thanks for your call and interaction also. The time is approximately 3 minutes moving away from the 9 o'clock hour. I'm due a break, so let me take that and I'll be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Don't throw those bottles away. Turn them into money today. Vitam bottles equal cash in your pocket. It's super easy. Just take those empty Vitam bottles to any Cara Brewery distribution truck or any drinks depot in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're keeping our beautiful Twin Island paradise clean. Vitam bottles equal cash back. Keep it clean. Keep it green. Vitam bottle returns. Your bottles, your cash, your island.
Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20, win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
When can I open my eyes?
Not yet. Okay, open. Do you see what I see?
It just looks like land to me.
It's our land, son. A wise investment that will grow with you.
Invest in land with CIBC Caribbean and we'll give you US $250 towards your valuation cost and 50% off your loan application fee. With CIBC Caribbean Land Financing, you can choose to build, hold, or pass on to your children. Visit CIBCCaribbean.com to learn more. Conditions apply.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, we're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Back to school is here, and Digital is making it extra exciting. Go back to school in style with a brand new laptop. All you have to do is activate a 3-day Prime bundle or higher. Switch to Digicel or sign up for a postpaid plan, and you could be one of 2 lucky winners. At Digicel, we're all about keeping you connected. So what are you waiting for? Get ready, get connected, and go back to school the Digicel way. Digicel, better connected for back to school.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And welcome back to welcome back to Island Tea, sorry. I'll be keeping your company later on Voices, and later on Voices I'll dig into and give my analysis of this thing that is happening over there on Nevis in relation to sustainable development and land. Give you my own perspective, my own breakdown, while I get your input as to how you feel about the very same thing. Good day, caller.
Yes, sorry. Let me finish up, please, if you will allow me.
Go ahead.
So what I was saying is, hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I was saying, let me wrap up quickly. We need to tell our children about the greatness of our people. We need to tell our children about the greatness of our people. Because even Caucasians say it, and I have heard one of them say it, if they were the race of people who were subjected to what we have been subjected to, they could have never survived. So they would never have survived. And it is true. Their might is their weapons. Their military. Outside of that, nada. Right? And we need to tell our children, we need to tell our children, we want to have them, we want them to be self-aware, we want them to have a strong sense of identity. Start there. Brimstone Hill and all of these forts, it's our forebears who built that. No colonists could have come here and lift up them stone and move them up the hill. They did not build it. That is common sense by now, and we should realize these things and see what they have used in the construction of these walls and towers and so on. Not one of those constructions has any steel in it. And for centuries, those have withstood hurricanes and even an earthquake there in 74. They have withstood the test of time. And if these were built by these colonizers, there's no way their descendants would come now and destroy them. Because when they wanted to remove that statue from in the square, you see how they had a big hullabaloo? Because it represented them. So if these stoneworks were theirs, they would not have destroyed them. The way they're going in Zimbabwe and destroying Timbuktu, because it's not there. So they want to erase our history, erase what we contributed, and then come out and write books and say we have not contributed anything to civilization. And finally, before I go, my people, our warfare is not physical, it is not carnal. And whether people want to believe it or not, there are beings walking around that have a form like man. People, they are not flesh and blood the way we think they are flesh and blood. And many of our people get themselves involved in demons and vampires and shapeshifters. Now, when you have intertwined yourself with them, especially sexually, you have killed yourself spiritually. You are dead. And that is why we cannot get to some of these people, because when we talk, they can't see it. The first thing they like to say, oh, racist, oh, this, oh, that. Wait, fine. Okay? When you're dead spiritually, how can you fight a spiritual battle? It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. You see, we cannot fight because the Bible itself tells us, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. It's not against flesh and blood. It's principalities and the forces of evil and darkness in this present world system that have the form of man. Our battle is spiritual, and until we realize that, we are not going to reach to the point where we are going to be free. Because you can't fight the devil using military might. The Lord is going to use their military might to turn on each other, because that is one way that the Lord is going to allow their punishment to come to them. They are going to fight one another, and they're going to kill one another out, just like in the Old Testament. Many times they're talking about the Bible is a book of blood and all that kind of thing there, but I don't think some of them really understand it. Many times God people didn't have to fight. They only had to follow the instructions given by the Almighty through the prophets or whomever. And once they follow those instructions, the battle is won before they even had to lift a spear, because God caused the enemies to turn against each other. And this is what we are seeing right now. But a lot of people don't understand that. They're gonna destroy one another. And then eventually they're gonna come up against us. People, our warfare is not physical, but it is spiritual, mighty through our Creator. And as for what is happening now, it's because of our spiritual disobedience, because the Bible talks about what to do to those sodomites. We don't have them among us. What to do. Now you see what is happening? They are the ones now who have taken control, and they're now telling you, you have to respect their lifestyle. And if you don't, what they can do, put you in jail. I am not playing with none of them, My right is a God-given right. My right is a God-given right. And as a child of the Almighty, I am not playing with none of them and their so-called laws that they put here to oppress people. And thank God for that revelation in the late. I never had it prior to 2020 let me say 2015 back. I never had it. But I have a revelation now, and the Lord has helped me to understand certain things. I'm not in this, Well, have a blessed day. Okay. And if there's anything in voices, I will call back, if I'm in a position to. Yes. Have a blessed day.
Same to you. And let me take a bit of a commercial break, and I'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Flow customers, unlock big prepaid rewards every time you activate a prepaid plan. Activate a 7-day plan or higher and earn points towards your rewards. Activate again, earn even more points. Activate next week, well, you get the picture. The more you activate, the more extra data and prizes you earn. Get in on the big prepaid rewards. Dial *129 or visit topupflow.com to activate a prepaid plan today. Got itchy palms? That's a sign. Money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And welcome back. And let's go straight to the phone lines. Good day, caller.
Hi. Hi, good morning, Quinn.
Yeah. Remember, next Wednesday is yours, okay?
Yes.
I'm making sure I put that reminder in there.
Yes. That's good. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yes. My last contribution to the radio program was concerning to a bill that was tabled in the Parliament entitled Special Sustainability Zone Authorization Bill 2025. And that bill would have tabled there in order to facilitate things of that nature. You know, the word sustainability is being bandied about and it's been abused in the sense that I think it's a Nevis. We are the smallest nation in the Americas, probably just about 103-4 square miles combined, both islands. And land ownership is...
What did you say the name of the bill is again, the title of it? Special Sustainability...
Zone Authorization Bill 2025.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We just say SZAB 2025.
Yeah.
Yes. And so land ownership in St. Kitts and Nevis is paramount. They say we are, and we are a destination, and we must also chart a fine line, balancing line in terms of what lands might be set aside for development as opposed to what lands might be set aside for agriculture and lands for the people, the posterity, not just you and I, because we are grown now and we have children. Some might get children as they mature and develop. So we should not just be thinking about you. You should be thinking about your extended family and the property that you might be in possession of not right now might need some upgrading, some expansion in terms of facilitating a larger members of the family, so to speak. The Nevisians were in that position if you had to do a comparative analysis with St. Kitts and Nevis. For the fact that I mentioned that they went out of the sugar industry quite some time before us.
Yeah.
And because our lands were still taking up
And
into the
I
sugar
want
industry.
I want you to pause there, because that is of great significance. A lot of people, because they have only been aware of the sugar industry and it being down here on St. Kitts because of the sugar factory and so on and so forth, they are unaware of the fact that before the industry was developed here on St. Kitts, everything in Nevis was the advanced aspect of what was being done by way of sugar and cotton and corn, maize, and so forth.
And I think that's when the name, the Queen of the Caribbean, was bestowed on the island of Nevis.
Yeah.
Because of the a small island and because of the production in not just sugar but other commodities, other crops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they got that title, the Queen of the Caribbean.
When sugar really moved down to St. Kitts and was developed because of what was happening in the sugar factory, it was because sugar had reached a stage from what they call that wetty sugar that they called muscovado into the crystallized sugar that we know today, that was taking place here mainly in St. Kitts and was distributed all around Europe and so forth, mainly starting right here. I was doing some research in relation to, because of my knowledge of electronics and that kind of stuff, and during that research I bumped into the fact that the individual, because they had developed the machinery and the wherewithal to crystallize this sugar and so on and so forth, when it was brought to St. Kitts, it was in the sort of experimental stage, and it was so successful, that is why it bloomed and blossomed into what it eventually became.
Yeah. Yes. And so myself as a tour guide, and I would have done my research. I have attended many seminars over the time, and we would have gotten information. Like, for instance, the whole sugar industry and the logistics of it, the whole island with the narrow gauge railroad tracks, that was commissioned in 1927. By 1927, everything was up and ready to roll. Transitioning from the individual sugar estate, like the Wingfield estate, is one of the sites we visit still, because that had a very unusual mechanism, whereas most of the estates was powered by the windmill system. That one down at Wingfield was powered by water. So you still have the aqueduct system there, isn't that?
Yeah.
Not that the water come down, but you can see all of, the bricks that, and the stone and everything was there. And then that Wingfield estate was very early in the scheme of things in the sugar industry. So it utilized the three systems that we were told of. Come down to the combustion system of what you're talking about.
Yes.
And the oxen-driven system, where, they use all those systems to crush the cane.
Yeah.
That is evidence there, because we were told that the Wingfield estate is the only or the first masonry structure in the Eastern Caribbean where stone was put together. Granite, andesite, and the limestone as mortar. So that is there still, and it is a site that generates a lot of visitors, because it's en route. You can go up to the Carabel Batik, which is adjacent to, and it was a part of the same compound, so to speak.
Yeah.
Where the great house was. And I like to peel back the onion, so to speak. Peeling back the onion, you get teary eyes, because there are layers and layers and layers. So beneath that there is where the Kalinago cacique, or what they call him, a king Tegraman, but he was a cacique. That was his title. That is where he resided, right where the Red House was built, right there in Carabel, Batiste. So I like to go back. I like to go back and give it a somewhat origin of that, you know what I mean, what happened and how
When
that
it comes,
culture was disturbed and the people died as a result of, you know, the genocide that occurred in that area there, even though some focus might be on the Bloody Point area, you know. It's all tied into the communities of the Kalinago people.
Yeah.
I listened to a program on this radio station, I think it was Heritage Matters with Greg Pereiro,
Yes.
an acclaimed tour guide, and he has a vast array of knowledge, and they was talking about him and the other gentleman, they was talking about things pertaining to some certain ceremonies that took place with the Kalinago and the Glee. I visited probably back in 2007, 2008, when the Glee came here, the persons who made that expedition, tracking the course from how the Kalinago people traveled from Suriname and South America and all up as far north as think it's a Nevis.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, I just saying that back to the lands. The lands was taken from the Kalinago people, and then we earned the land. We rightfully earned the land. In fact, it is owed more to us than anything else, more than land, by the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. These lands are to be reserved for posterity, one generation to the next generation. Think it's a Nevis, Kittians and Nevis need not to be landless. We have a soft heart, and we see even the Kalinagos who welcome these people, they got almost extinct. So this is how Kittians and Nevisians are. We welcome everybody, but some of that the welcoming is to our own demise and to our own detriment. Yes, you're going to keep us poor. Like you said, independent. You're in a pen and you're dancing to a tune and not recognizing you like the emperor, the naked emperor, without no clothes, and dancing his last dance.
Dancing his last
to your
dance.
own detriment, to your own demise.
Making a fool of himself.
Yes, we're making a fool of ourselves.
Until a child, mind you, there were grown-ups all over, but the grown-ups, which in one of these days I'm going to play a clip that says, society rewards stupidity. Grown-ups are around seeing this emperor dancing naked, but because they have been indoctrinated into a certain mindset, they're silent. And a child looks and points and says, but he's naked. And then it took
and the
that.
child will always point it out to us.
Yes.
Because the child will ask the parents critical questions. Daddy, mommy, where is the land for the expansion? We cannot hold in the small house anymore. It needs to be expanded because my siblings are here, and the space has lived out its usefulness.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, what the parents is going to tell the child, that I sold the land for people to come down and laugh on. It's not that they needed land because they needed to be expanded the way our house needed to be expanded. But it's like, is it a playground?
Yeah.
Is there a playground? There's a playpen for the well-to-do who seems like they want a piece of the action on every island because they have accumulated money off of the blood, sweat, and tears of our very same people. And now you're just coming and you're decided that, oh, you don't deserve paradise. That little space of paradise that you occupy, it needs to be taken from you and then back into servitude. So this is the alarm. And Premier Mark Brantley, having the carriage in front of the horse, he decided to come and do damage control by making some announcement to the nation, to Nevision in particular, about the situation. But Nevisions, I'm feeling it. I'm testing the water. I spoke to a Nevision lady yesterday, and she had land in that area, so she could get some money. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yes. So it's the money. The money. The main issue is posterity, but because of the lack of the money, I am going to sell off my posterity.
Well,
Get the money.
last evening I heard a very interesting caller call to a program, and he was emphatically stating that the money is more valuable than the land. It is better to have the cash in your hand. And I was taken aback that no one brought to his attention until later down. Perhaps it is the way the program was constructed. Later down, an individual was asked to make his input, and he said, "Look, land does not lose value; it gains value over time. When you have all this money and you put it on a bank, it does not gain the kind of value that land gets, right?" And the individual who was saying emphatically about cash, you need cash, and cash is more, you sell the land to get the cash, and the cash is more important than the land. And when the person brought that point to him, he said, "You can't tell me." And I realized that this was an arrogant individual who is blinded by greed to get money. Because why is it? Because
of the land.
Let me finish
Cash
this.
just doesn't come far from the sky.
Let me
Cash
finish.
come because of as a result of a commodity.
Yeah.
An estate.
But here this Africa, here's what I'm saying. Why is it that all of the wealthy people around the globe, they don't store up their money in banks and leave it there? They invest it in all kind of different things so that it can garner more value. Why is that?
Because wealth generation is posterity. It's linked. It's tied to posterity. Wealth generation and posterity, they're like Siamese twins.
Yeah.
Wealth generated by assets. Your land is your asset.
Yes.
That land will generate money. The fiat dollar, it will generate money in more ways than one. Not just the liquidation of the cash. You see why I said liquidation there?
Yeah.
Talking about water. Okay? With liquidation of the cash, where you have money in the bank and you have the river bank. So it's all tied in here.
Yeah.
That liquidation, that money will come, and you will still own your land. You could go and you could do other things by not losing your land.
And you
can
could
do a short-term lease.
That's it. You can lease your land. You can do development on your land that could garner money over time. But again, it ties into what that word posterity, over time, from now until then, into the future.
Because it's anyone who talks like that, they are very selfish. They are self-centered. They're not seeing down the road. Whereas those who wants to get that land, they have seen down the road, because they are about posterity.
Yeah.
They're not just about themselves, but they're about their children and their grandchildren who to inherit.
How is
rightfully to inherit.
How is it that when they get the land, they never relinquish it?
No, because they have their own agenda. They are dealing with expansion. It's a form of like expansionism, and 9 out of 10 times, some of the investors, they have invested elsewhere into other things, and they are just expanding.
Yeah.
Their investment into other areas of endeavors.
There's another caller waiting. There's another caller waiting now, so perhaps you can wrap up so that the other caller can make an input.
Yes, seems like those who purporting the money. Someone has convinced them that way. Matt Brantley is he's a lawyer, so he knows how to get into the people's mind and peddle just money. The land is more than money. The land is posterity. The land will generate money, and the money that would be generated. They say it takes fools make money, but the wise man spend it. A lot of the money that gets into people's hands there, I'm not calling an individual a fool. I don't know. I did not listen to the program. But it's the way we spend money around here. We are like foolish drunken sailors, the way we spend money. And the money will just gone, and the land is already gone, and nothing to say, well, grandson, granddaughter, this is your possession.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Okay. Hello, caller. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, good morning to you, man. Good
Yeah.
morning to you and listeners. Yeah, great discussions like usual. Quint, I must say to you that one of your favorite callers, Ira McMahon, made the trip across the shark-infested waters last night to be in the studio of One Radio to have that continued discussion and debate about the sustainability, special sustainability zone authorization bill 2025, and the premier was in the studio getting it in with the fellas on the panel. That was great exchange, and like Africa just said just now, Mark Brantley is a lawyer, and don't take anything from him. He's very astute. He knows how to get in and out of these, arguments, and he knows how to hold his ground.
But is he? You see, this is something. Is he as astute?
Yeah, I mean, people may have their opinions about him, but certain things about him, you still cannot take it away.
I listened to him last evening, and what I realized, because I don't know, they say hindsight is 20/20 vision, but oftentimes when we have these forums, it seems as if though individuals who, rather than acknowledging that there was a bit of a mistake maybe somewhere along the way, they come with an agenda to prove a point, and to prove that point they're going to talk down to you and have this condescending kind of attitude. And when you ask questions, they give you glib answers that don't really answer the specific question that you ask. And then people are going to sit on the sideline and say, he's very astute. Astute in what? I listened to the whole program last evening, and I did not hear one thing that Mark Brantley said that was relevant to what. And let me go back to the title. That is why I asked Africa to reiterate the title. The title of the bill is Special Sustainability Zone. You see that word? Zone. Authorization. See those two words? Zone. Authorization. Special Sustainability Zone Authorization. Zone authorization. What is a zone? Why do you pass a bill that authorizes a zone? But yet still, when you listen to Mark Brantley, he's trying his best to deny that there is a zone. And then then people say he's astute.
Let me say this clearly, right? We are having discussions. We're gonna have our individual views and opinions back and forth. This is a fluid situation. And in reasoning, like I've been on a program last night with the Rasta guys. The Rasta man them say they're reasoning. Each one. We go back and forth. And out of that conversation last night, I'm going to make it clear on that fan radio, even though I said what I just said about him, I don't buy none of it. I'm a person, I'm going to stick with the people at all costs.
I heard an individual ask a question, and again, if you're going to ask a question, think about the question you're going to ask before you ask it and how you're going to frame it. Because Mark Brantley, being a lawyer, he will answer specifically the way you put it. The question was, is your family involved in the buying or selling of land? And Mark Brantley quite accurately said no. That should not have been the question. The question,
That should not have been the answer.
the question should have.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, the question as you want to say.
The question should have been, does your family have any link or linkage with the buying and selling of land? You see the difference?
Scenario,
you see the difference?
That scenario that you're trying to push there, does that anyhow, anyway, piggyback to what Guy Welcome was trying to say yesterday? That his wife is a part of the government?
No.
What did he really mean about that?
No, that has no relevance whatsoever. Here, let me repeat again. The question that was asked: is your family associated with selling and buying lands? Mark Brantley said no, and he's right. But if the question was, is there any linkage with your family to do with the buying and selling of land? That's a whole different question. He could not say no, because if he said no, then he would be lying.
Lying. But Quinn, all you got to do.
So why is it? So this is what baffles me, and this is why Mark Brantley makes this smug statement that you don't even understand plain English, right? This is what baffles me. You get so caught up in your passion that you listen to a show and then you ask a question full of passion, but no real precise wording that gives clarity. So what you were saying before, to give Welcome some credence. You can't give Welcome any credence here. Mark Brantley's wife is not associated with the government. She's not a part of the government in any way. She is a different entity that deals with real estate, and her position is she is the go-between, the one who facilitates, who goes to someone who has land and says, look, I have someone who is interested in buying your land. Are you willing to sell? And how much will you sell for within something that my client will be comfortable with in terms of buying? She's not selling land. She's not selling land. She's not buying land. She's facilitating the buying and selling of land.
But there's a family member of hers that's in the
I
government.
don't want to go to the family member of we got to be very careful here. You got to be very careful what you say when you're speaking in the public domain. We don't want to be bringing in family this and family that, because there'll be no end to it.
So what about the insights, like insider trading information? Why is that realtor company the only company approaching these persons? But let me take a step or two back, right? This is what I want to say from the outset, right? They were approached by these foreign millionaires, billionaires, right? But the simple fact right up front is that the government doesn't own any lands over there. So Clint, if they're trying to do business with the government and the government don't have no lands on that side, why are they entertaining this project and this millionaire, billionaire? The lands over there is not the government's lands. This is my first big question.
So Burl, that is a relevant question. And it comes back again to the title of the bill, Special Sustainability Zone we're going to put emphasis now on the word authorization. You see? Zone authorization. Who will be authorized to have this zone?
Let me bring an example, like something more simplistic. Okay, I have in my name, period, I only have $100. And you come and you ask me for $200, right? And to my name, I only have $100. How much money can I give you, Grant? 200 or 100? So if I
you can give me 500.
Okay, listen.
You heard what I just said?
Stop right there. Stick a pin there. Stick a pin there. Stick a pin there. I can give you $1 million too. But guess what? I'm gonna have to go rob, kill, and steal, and find ways to get that extra money to give it to you.
But here's it. Let's put it more technically. You might have to go to a bank and procure a loan so that you can facilitate the amount that I want. This is why we have a bill entitled the Special Sustainability Zone Authorization Bill.
So that they can take away people's lands, right?
I'm not going to say take away people's land. I'm going to use the word facilitate the foreign investor in acquiring and continuing to own with the prospect of development.
And possibly to use that governmental instrument called eminent domain, correct?
Well, why do you think, again, I mean, do I have to, it is clear, Special Sustainable Zone Authorization Bill. I mean, this is clear English.
That's what he said in the studio. The bill, but he's on the other side, on his agenda side. To him, from his agenda side, the bill is also clear as crystal.
Anyway, I'm due a break.
I'm gonna leave it there. But all I'm gonna say one more time, and I'm gonna leave it there. The government doesn't own any land over there, so they're gonna have to get those lands away from those people. And that's all I was saying, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a bit of a commercial break, and I'll be right back.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
Back to school is here at Harper's. Yes, Harper's, it's where it's at with the widest selection of school and art supplies for all schoolgoers, from the tiniest preschooler to the big cool college students. Plus, everyone can enjoy a 10% discount and a chance to spin the wheel and enter our grand draw in September. And the bonus is, our friendly team is looking forward to welcoming you again and again and again. For more information, call us at 466-6500.
Yeah, we got that.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. Rams. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value
customers. Unlock big prepaid rewards every time you activate a prepaid plan. Activate a 7-day plan or higher and earn points towards your rewards. Activate again, earn even more points. Activate next week, well, you get the picture. The more you activate, the more extra data and prizes you earn. Get in on the big prepaid rewards. Dial *129 # or visit topupflow.com to activate a prepaid plan today.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back. We have approximately, let's say, about 14 minutes before we bring an end to this stint today. Hello, good day, caller.
Yes, Quint, it's me again. Quint, will you say that the reason why people be so eager to sell their land is because we don't understand, or we were never really taught the importance of generational wealth and heritage?
Yes,
passing it on to your next generation?
I would say you're right. I would say you're right. We've not been taught, and we are not aware of something that these foreign investors are well aware of.
Right, because you made the comment, the wealthy do not put their money in the bank, and that is so true. And even if you have money and you put it in the bank, you have to be so careful with the bank, because look at Wendy Williams. She put her money in the bank, and the bank literally take over her money. She can't go to the bank and take out her money as she like and spend it as she like. The bank went and put a conservator, I think they call a conservator, somebody in charge of her money. So somebody dictate how this woman spend her money.
Who is that? Who is that person? This Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams. She was a big radio personality, and then she had this show about Wendy Williams.
Okay, I remember who that person is. Yes, I remember now who that. Does she have some kind of a problem with her faculties, like?
The bank claimed that she had problem with her faculties. Remember they did the same to Britney Spears, and for years that young girl could not control her money.
Yes. Again, this shows the ways in which the system is set up. As I've often said, the system is set up when it is convenient. They will use it against you. I don't see where a bank should have that authority. I think perhaps maybe a family member might be able to say, well, she's not so cognizant, and because of that, we don't feel she can handle finances. Perhaps a family member can do that, but I'm not a lawyer, so I can't say that emphatically. But I don't see where a bank can get up and make that decision on its own.
Well, exactly, but the bank did that.
Yeah.
The bank took control of our money. So we got to be so careful. And again, it goes back to our land. People need to realize land is wealth. They get you to sell it now. Remember, land do not depreciate; it increase.
Yeah.
It don't depreciate that easy. So they get you to sell now. You spend time you get that money, it done.
Yeah.
And right now, here in Connecticut, I remember years ago they were building this big ball field, and he had houses where they were building the ball field, and one person decided, I am not selling you my property. They had to build that ball field, and the house is still there. That woman decided she's not moving.
Yeah.
I don't care, you're going to build your ball field. Everybody want to sell, but I'm not selling. So your ball field is going to be built around me. But anyway, Queen, have a good day.
Yeah, same to you. Hello, caller.
Yes, Brother Quinn. Good morning.
Yeah, good day.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, good day.
Good morning to all the listeners. This is the voice of independent candidate Winston. Welcome. Quinn, yesterday, I'm not angry, but I just wish you didn't cut me off and let me continue with my.
I could not let you. And this is the thing that you never seem to learn and you want to be in a position of leadership, and yet still you come on, and instead of acknowledging that you may have made a mistake that could have put us in a compromising position, the first thing you do when you come on is to say, I shouldn't have cut you off. So you're validating what you did.
No, because there was more to it and not the
It doesn't
rhetoric,
matter
because-
if there's more. I'm taking the statement on the merit of how it was said.
Okay, I will accept what you did. But let me just say this. And I'm gonna use a scenario. Quint, you have a wife. Most likely, we are gonna be partners in crime in most instances. I'm not saying.
And
I'm not
again,
saying-
and again, you must be careful of the words that you use. Why couldn't you just say we are going to be partners in a business, or in an association? When you say partners in crime, you are suggesting that there's some criminal activity going on.
Okay, let's put it this way. We will be partners in business. We are partners in business. I will take your word, and I will more let it resonate. I stand for correction, because I'm learning, and we will never stop learning. All right. The situation with the southern side of Nevis in this transaction that is forecast to be, okay? Mark Brantley is in the government. Mark Brantley is the first one to have access to all these transactions. Okay? His wife is into real estate. However, she became a real estate broker. Okay? Now, it is priority to him to give the deal to his partner. And for what is going down? So what is going down?
Sorry, I had to step away to close a door there that is giving us a bit of trouble.
No. All right. May I continue?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't hear what you said though, because I stepped away, and I hope you didn't say anything incriminating during my absence.
No. Let me reiterate. Mark Brantley is the premier, the primary man of deals. Okay? For all what transaction has been deviated to his wife is through him as an inside trader. Because no one else
Again, caller, you see, again, I have to cut you there, because you're saying that he's an inside trader. People must understand the legalities of statements that you make. You can say something, but your wording is very, very important. And you cannot say without fact and proof, emphatical fact and proof, that someone is an inside trader. You cannot do that. Because if you are asked to represent that in a court, what are you going to use? You're going to use fact, or you're going to use hearsay, or you're going to use speculation? Because until you have the facts that prove something, you should not state it. This is why oftentimes I use the word hypothetical. I use the word hypothetical, and then I bring a scenario that is not specifically aligned with what I'm explaining, but yet still it ties into it in a way that it can make you better understand what I'm trying to say in that, as it relates to that other scenario, right? So again, Mr. Welcome, 2 days on a straight I had to cut you because you're going down a road that we cannot venture. Too many individuals sometimes even, here's something. Sometimes even you're right, sometimes you're right. But when you're going to court to prove that you're right is a whole nother story. Because these lawyers are so adept in prolonging time, that the time that you need to say that to prove that you're right, they make sure it is elongated, it is stretched out to such an extent that during the course you lose, you wind up in a position where you cannot finance further continuing a trial. This is why you find big corporations make sure that they drag a case on and on and on, because they know that they are likely in the wrong, but they drag it on because they know they have the finances, and eventually you will fall by the wayside and you won't be able to prove your case. Hello, caller.
Good morning, Quinn.
Yeah, good day.
You're hitting the right numbers. You're on the right path. Even though you know the facts and the truth, you just don't say it. Because if you put in a position to prove it,
yeah,
it is really costly.
This is what people don't understand.
Justice is blind, but very expensive. I believe justice was not designed for the poor man. We got to keep out of those things.
But caller, let me ask you a question. Do you realize some of the individuals who are putting themselves forward to be leaders of our country and what they represent?
Well, I would say that in every individual, he is entitled to his own opinion. And if he put himself out there and he think in his mind that he have a chance with the people, that is how he feels.
Yeah.
And so
I like the way you put it. I like the way you put it.
At the same time, people that he's speaking to can think and they can hear him.
Yeah.
So I in my mind, there are a few days now that you've been speaking to him, so he should probably sit down. And I'm not sure if he ever sit down and read a novel.
Yeah, I don't believe that he listens.
He should sit down and read a novel.
I don't think he listens because
because if listening is a skill. Not everybody can listen. Everybody can hear, but not everybody can listen.
Yeah, you're so right.
So he should sit down and read a novel. If he sit down and read it completely, and then read another one, and then that will broaden his horizon, and he'll have better understanding of presentation. And when you read a novel, just not read it. Read it with a position that he'll be able to explain it.
Yeah.
Tell the story as he have read it. And coexist. Let somebody else read the novel and put him to the test to see. And he could find out if he's ready. No one is possessed with all knowledge and know it all and everything, but we all, each one, teach one and help each other, and that is how we coexist.
Yeah.
So the thing is that he is not worse than any, and he's not better than many. So I think that everybody could learn. I think that some learn slower than some, and some learn faster than the others. So we have that. We have the up and down and the cross, the horizon, vertical and horizontal. But I think you're doing a good job in keeping it in check.
I try.
But one of these days he will learn. If he want to be a politician, I don't know what he see or what he think, but politicians are not normally those who know most and many, but some who are willing to learn can take advice. And you will imagine, I'm going to give you one simple example before I go.
Yeah.
There must be an erosion on Bastia Bay. I'm not saying that it is. Let's hope that it don't happen. And for some reason or another, the government of the day might not believe in our local engineering. And so what they do, they pick up the phone and they make contact with some foreign entity. And they send an engineer to St. Kitts. When the engineer arrives in St. Kitts, he'll have some discussion. And then maybe the next morning, he will hit the beach. When he hit the beach, what do you think he's going to do at the beach? Most of the time, they come, they walk on the beach, and they talk to the people who spend more time on the beach than anyone else. Based on the experience, what they have seen, what they know, and when a storm comes, what happened, and so on. And based on the information that they take from people, they might not be able to read it, but they know some things that he don't know, and we don't know. And so when they put that in writing and pass it over to the government, it becomes true documentation of an assessment. So therefore, the person don't have to have a degree to know certain things that could go into writing. It's just that he might not be able to put it in writing, but he knows. So That is his view of certain things. Now, on the other hand, what we are saying is that
Caller, we're 3 minutes over time, and remember I'm going to be holding voices, so you can call back in then.
Okay, go right ahead. Do you think?
Yeah. Okay, so because I have to make a transition from one program to the other. Sorry when I have to interject like that, but it is what it is. So let me take this bit of a commercial break, and when I get back, we'll be into voices.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.